The pulsating fourth season of the Betway SA20 is fast approaching from the 26th of December 2025. Now, the Betway SA20 auction taking place this Tuesday, the 9th of September, is the customary precursor to the Showpiece franchise cricket event and will be taking place live from Sandton, Johannesburg. Now, joining us now to speak more about what we can expect from this year's auction is former Proteas fast bowler Dale Steyn. Dale, a very good evening and thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, yeah, thank you for having me.
Anticipation, big moment. I mean, looking ahead to Tuesday where the auction is taking place. I mean, just generally, what can we expect, particularly fans looking at some of the few changes as far as the auction is concerned?
Well, I think it's an exciting auction because there's been massive changes. I mean, we've seen some of the teams like Pretoria Capitals basically do a full exchange. They're looking for a full new team. So they've got a big purse. Almost each team has got about 2.1 million US dollars. It's a lot of money. The overall purse of about 7.3 million. So it's a lot of money to be thrown around at players. Life-changing kind of amounts of money. So we're going to see a lot of great new names coming into this auction. We're going to see a lot of changes. Players that we didn't think was going to perform pretty well has stepped up and made a name for themselves. And it's going to be exciting because I think there's going to be a couple teams vying for these particular players. And from the briefing that I got the other day, the first round of players is set to be an absolute humdinger. So we're going to see a lot of money thrown around the tables, and it's super exciting for the fans to see where some of these players are going to be going to some of the new franchises, maybe even kept at the franchises that they are. So it's a very exciting auction that's going to be happening on Tuesday.
Would you say that this is also big for the fans, you know, beyond the games that obviously start in December? Is this something that spectators, that fans look forward to see where their favorite players are going and which teams will take which players?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, in the early days, I think the auction kind of stood out for the IPL. So fans from South Africa would sit here and they would watch an auction take place in India, and they would be hoping that a couple South Africans would make one or two of those IPL teams. Whereas now we've got our very own auction happening here in South Africa with our own players, with international players coming to South Africa or at least into the auction. And fans can sit back and watch this take place on SuperSport live as it happens on the moment and see where their players and where their favorite players are going to go. The beautiful thing about South Africa is we're such a small country, and it invites players from all around the world to want to come here. I mean, the longest flight that we've got is Joburg to Cape Town, essentially. And it means that if you're a fan, you could jump on a plane on a Friday and fly through, watch a game, and even get back the same day. So if you are engaged in the game as much as I am and many other people are, the auction is a great place to start season 4 because you're going to know exactly where your favorite players are going to be going.
41 million rand salary cap. What does that mean in the bigger scheme of things, Dale?
Well, it's life-changing. We're going to see players that are going to be earning the amount of money that they would only hope and dream of that IPL players are earning. And they can earn it here in South Africa. I think the greatest thing about the SA20 is really it's a platform of its own. It's pretty much the second biggest 2020 tournament in the world outside of the IPL. It's, I think, the highest purse, highest prize money. There's a whole lot of stats that can go into it. If you watch on Tuesday, you'll hear all of these things. And it just means that your local players that are on local domestic contracts for the last, 10 years or so could have a life-changing moment on Tuesday, financially, but also they can be going to a team where they can be playing and rubbing shoulders with the best players in the world. You'll see a Liam Livingston from England come, Jofra Archer, Rashid Khan from Afghanistan. The best players in the world, the West Indies players, Andre Russell, the best players in the world are coming here to South Africa. So you've got this just incredible, rich cricket tournament that's going to be happening over the holidays. I think it's very exciting for the fans. And I mean,
it augurs well for South African players because it's 11 South African players and 7 overseas-based players, plus the wild card. Tell us a little bit about the wild card.
Oh my word, I actually need to update myself on the wild card, how it works again. To be honest with you, I'm going to throw it off you. I was a coach last year. And this year I'm actually commentating. So I need to update myself on the wild card. But the big thing about it is that if I think about when I was a coach with the Sunrisers Eastern Cape, the Sunrisers Eastern Cape based their team around local players. They're part of the Gqeberha team, and they based their players around local players. They threw all their money at local players, and hence the reason why I think they won first season, and then they won the second season too. So they got wild cards, they got local players to play. Even the international players that came overseas were guys like Bryden Koss, who were born in PE, other players that have an affiliation to the town and the city itself. And it just shows that if you can put your mentality and your mindset into local players, you might even go all the way. So 3 finals for Sunrisers Eastern Cape and twice winners with local players.
Also, there's an opportunity for young players. I mean, the under-23 players, as you mentioned earlier on, that with the salary cap and the kind of money that is going to be spent at the auction, this gives an opportunity also for young players to get big paychecks, but also to rub shoulders with, the who's who of the sport.
Yeah, I think they've done away with the rookie contracts now. They've just kind of changed the name to an under-23 player. So as long as a player is 23 or younger, he can be part of your under-23 player pick. Each team has to have, I think, 1, maybe 2. I must just check on that, which is fantastic because, you've got a young player, potentially even a 19-year-old. We look at guys like Kwenamba Parker from last year. He was playing SA under-19, Luandre Pretorius, Devo Brevis. They were all under-19 players not too long ago. They've gone on to play in the SA20. They've even been picked up in IPL teams in the IPL, and now recently are representing South Africa. And these guys are only 20, even 19 years old. So it just shows you what a platform the SA20 provides for your rookie or your under-23 player. They get into a team, they're rubbing shoulders with the best in the world, they're learning a couple tricks of the trade, they're getting a little bit of money, it's fantastic, the money is great, let's not lie, it's huge money. But at the end of the day, it really boils down to a competition where you have some of the best cricket players in the world and your full lot of South African players. I think that's the standout, is that you'll have all your South African players playing. You've got your Aiden Markrams, you've got your Temba Bavumas, your KG Rabadas. All of your South African players are ready and available throughout this whole tournament, which is a big thing because often in the domestic tournaments, we don't see that. We see South African players off on tour wherever they are. But for this time period, the fans can come out and they can guarantee to watch their favorite Proteas players.
Dale Steyn, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much for making time to speak to us. Appreciate your time. That's Dale Steyn talking to us about the SA20. It's starting in December, but of course, the auction is taking place this Tuesday. A 41 million rand salary cap, but also a number of other players from overseas that will be coming through, and young South African players also getting that opportunity.